Okay, I am so excited for tonight, you guys. We are going to get to hear from everyone tonight, and it's just going to be an absolute blast. So, if you guys don't know, and we're all wearing or should be wearing our color, our most dominant color. So, I'm a yellow, like, okay, Shauna, yellow, Honesty, red, Rachel, yellow. Jess, I cannot see the color of your shirt, but I can't. Is that it looks purple to me, but I'm like, that's not a color, so I don't know. I can't tell. I'm like half colorblind, I feel like sometimes. It's okay. Um, but I love seeing everyone in their colors. It's just super, super exciting. So this is what we're going to be touching on this week. We are doing a spirit week. So tonight we're just going to touch on each color just a little bit so you guys can kind of get to know it just a little bit, and then the next couple days we'll be like really going into detail about each of those. But anyways, you guys, so this is something that is really important, and I had never even knew about like color personality before this. I was like, what in the world is that? Like, why does that matter? But it really does. It helps to define kind of a little bit about you and areas that maybe you need to grow in a little bit, which is always awesome. I love being able to grow in this business and in life in general. You always want to be evolving and you always want to be growing. So that is something that is just a true blessing to be able to figure out like what our most dominant colors are and what the other ones are that we can kind of work on a little bit too. And this helps us in our life and our relationships, like marriage, kids, friendships, but then also in the business as well to, help your team out a little bit more. How do they learn things? How do they kind of need to be talked to in a sense? And those kinds of things. Because like me as a yellow, if you like come to me and you're like super like loud and in my face, I'm like, nope. Like I'm like, no, thank you. I don't like it. Talk to me with all the emojis and pink hearts, please, because I don't do it. Not that you're being mean, but to me, I'm like, that's a no-go. So everyone is different though on how they, how they like to be talked to and things like that. See, I told you guys that the dogs would bark. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. But it's just really awesome. No, okay, good. Because I was like, that was really loud. Um, but anyways, it's just really awesome to be able to, define your color personality and someone else's to again just be able to know how to kind of talk to them, how to build that relationship and things like that. So, first we are going to start off with Honesty, and I'm super excited about this and her color that she's going to talk about. So, let me unmute and go for it, sister.
Okay, hey everybody, what is up? Okay, I'm so excited for this. Like Anna was saying, I had never even realized that color personalities were even a thing, and before I started this business, and now I'm obsessed. I think I've taken the color personality test like 5 times. Not even kidding. I love it so much. I think it is so cool. I made my husband take it. I made my brother take it. I made my sister take it. I made everybody take it because I freaking love it. It is so cool. Um, I am a red dominant personality. So if you have red in your personality or you're a red dominant personality, go ahead and drop a one in the chat because I just want to see everybody who is that because that's really freaking cool. If you don't know if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes. I'm not a good read from notes kind of person, but I didn't want to forget anything, so I have notes. Okay, so we have ones in the chat. Okay, cool beans. Red dominant personalities are driven by ambition, leadership, and the desire to achieve goals. Some key traits of those that I personally resonated with when I was researching this is goal oriented. I'm always striving to achieve and set new goals. Assertive, I'm confident and direct in communication and decision making. Competitive, I'm motivated by winning and being the best that I can be. I'm a risk taker. I'm willing to take bold steps to achieve success. And visionary. I dream big, I set high goals, and I see possibilities where other people see limitations. A con to that would be I can come off as intense or impatient, but the drive and determination of red dominant personalities make effective and natural leaders and achievers. Okay, so what I want to leave you guys all with about red personalities is don't be afraid of your boldness. Own it. It's who you are and who the Lord created you to be. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I've come and like since I've started learning about color personalities and kind of growing in my color and who the version of myself that I want to be, I've kind of like started, I found myself like comparing myself to other people and like, would Rachel say it this way? Would Jess say it this way? How would Anna go about this? And it's like, guys, we are our own color personalities for a reason. God created us exactly who we are supposed to be, fearfully and wonderfully made, and you can never say the wrong things to the right people. So own who you are, own your red energy, own whatever energy you have, own your color personality, and live loudly and proudly for the glory of Jesus. And that is all that I have for you guys. Until further on in the week. Okay. I'm done.
Okay, so it's my turn, and my dominant color is yellow. So if you're a yellow, put a yellow heart in the chat for me, please. And so I'll go ahead. Okay, I see the yellows. I see the yellows. Oh, hi, hi. Okay, so yellow dominant personality, and I'm looking at my computer, so that's what I'm looking up. Um, we are driven by being fun, optimistic, and being able to connect with others. We're reliable, dependable, and we're honest. And I also found that a description for yellows is they're joyful, social, and have expressive energy. Okay. Our key traits are inspiring and fun to be around. We're excellent communicators, encouraging and motivating. That's the one I resonate with the most. And then you're flexible and you're open-minded. But our growth areas are we can be stubborn because if we're the ones everyone is always coming to for help, we are very slow to ask for help. Um, Sometimes we avoid conflict or being uncomfortable situations. Some struggle to focus or follow through. Some resist rules and structure. That's not me. I'm gonna follow the rule. And then some tend to say yes too often and overcommit. So that's an issue. And um, in stating our growth areas for yellows, one thing I will absolutely encourage my yellows, we have to get self-development. Why? Everybody needs it, but we have to get self-development because we have to make sure we're filling up our cup because we fill others up so often that you want to make sure that you are very well encouraged before you go encouraging others and your cup is empty and you have nothing left to give. And then as a yellow, having nothing to give then makes you feel like you're not living out your purpose. So make sure you do your self-development. So my call to action to all of my yellows would be unapologetically who you are. That's a great thing. Just like Honesty just said, we're all supposed to be here in the role that we're in. It's a good thing for us to be yellows. It's a good thing for the reds and the blues and the greens. Own that. It's okay. And make sure that you're giving for you so that you can give to others. And I saw we had our self-development this morning with Ashley Mayfield talking about colors, and she said something I thought was absolutely amazing. So I know it's probably should be said at the end, but I'm gonna say it now because it's my turn. So the reds are gonna cast the vision. The blues are gonna be the charismatic ones of the group. The greens are gonna execute the vision, and the yellows, we're gonna cultivate the vision and create a community. I'm done.
Oh, ladies, this is so fun. Hey, listen, you got to hear this out too. As us leaders have taken more of a frontward stance in everything that we've done in April, we've all leaned in with our different personalities. We've learned from each other, we've shined. And when our flaws of our characters with the personality shine, like we're able to lean into each other and see how we can be honest with what we see and just grow in that. And this has been a really good journey for all of us. Mm-hmm. So listen, blue is not my dominant color, but we have so many yellows, and Britt was a little bit not available, I guess, not a little bit. She'll be here later in the week. So I needed to take a stand and share blue, which I'm like, oh my, I know more about yellow. So this is a little bit out of my comfort zone. And I actually learned more about myself doing this. So the first thing that I want to talk about though are the challenges that us blues face. And I'll follow suit with the other girls. And if you are blue, drop a blue heart in the chat and be sure to pay attention because I feel like I have something special to offer you with it. So with blues, and I know this for myself, we struggle with constructive criticism. And when you do that and you go inward when someone gives you information that they want you to have to help you to change, you will shut down. And it doesn't help you to continue to be of service to others. And also with that is like taking things too personally. Like you hear something that, like, let me be honest with you. And I think this is a little yellow too, but like when you first start being louder in the chats and you're talking and you're sharing, and you see that 20 of your sideline sisters have saw something that you've shared in there, and they like two of them give you a heart and nobody else did anything, you're like, oh my word, what did I do wrong? They hate me. What do I do with it? And it's a lot to overcome when things like that happen to you. And through the 2 years of being in this, I've grown in all of that. But let me tell you how I've grown. Over a year ago, and I'll keep this short because I want to share more later on in the week. I allowed some things to define me from this business that I shouldn't have. And the only cure that I found for all of that was worship music and the Bible. So I did some homework this evening. I'm like, I need some scripture that's going to help me to talk about blue. And this is what I found. Therefore, it's Colossians 3:12. So therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Because us blues, we really do have a lot of love. And when we're in tune with that and we're in the word and we're doing that self-development that the Latasha was talking about, we really have a gift to show up and give that to others. So as you are blue and you're faced with those challenges, I encourage you to realize that as you take those thoughts captive of taking things too personally, you really do have a gift that you can help foster and nurture in others. And having said that, some of the core traits of blues are the fact that we are sincere, we are caring and nurturing, we are dependable because of that love, we're great listeners, and we're warm and encouraging. I think back to Rachel telling me 7 or 8 months ago, just show up and love others. And really, like that, I think that is my blue because loving and helps me to naturally build trust in others. All I did was show up and love my team, and now we've grown and things are happening. And I have some rubies and I'm emerald, and we're just really showing up and we lean in and we're able to see our own strengths as we all just love each other. And that's a lot of yellow and blue too. What drives us are connections with others. Do you know on the worst day of anything in business, all I need to do is open up those group chats and I see all of that. And I'm like, okay, Lord, this is it. There's my people. And then it keeps you encouraged. And so for that, the unity, we thrive on unity. And that's what I love about this business is that we have that because of those connections that we make with others. We like to make a meaningful difference. Blues like to be able to take that stand and just see the lights come on with others. And as we do that, we can continue to overcome what I was saying about the less than thoughts or being afraid of confrontation. We stay in those moments of being appreciated and just giving to others. I hope that makes for logic. and let me leave you with this one more scripture. Philippians 2, 3, and 4. As you learn more about your color and you see how you're going to use it in the business and in your family's life, as Honesty said, I want to leave you with this. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interest of others. So, as you focus on others in this business, I promise you that blue is a pretty big gift. And I think that's all I have.
Oh, good, Jeff.
Thank you.
Hi guys. So, as the typical green that I am, I wrote everything down in as much detail as literally could fit on this card. So mine might be a smidgen longer just because you know, I wrote everything down. I did all of it. Um, so my name's Taylor. I'm primarily green, 44%, red, 29%, blue, yellow. I have a huge yellow. It's 6.8. It's really great. So I needed all of the tips on the yellow. But because green, yeah, that's kind of my catchphrase. Um, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was more of the troublesome qualities. And I pulled all of my notes and everything directly from that color quiz. And something else that I found in my digging is that there's actually an entire book connected to that quiz that breaks them down even more. So I don't know if we maybe want to do that at some point, but yeah, I found that when I was digging. So green personalities. Now, of course, none of us have these because we are all great and we're all our true shades of green, but we're going to read them anyways. And if any of them sound familiar, of course, you're not, these aren't you, but if they sound familiar, drop a one. Overanalyze, overanalyzing things to the point of being unable to take that first step. This can be in goals. This can be in your chart. You're staring at that ruby, that emerald, that diamond chart, and you're like, and you like just sit there and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what names are supposed to go here. Being unable to take that first step because you have literally no idea what you're doing. Unforgiving, expects perfection, sets high standards. This can be with your team. This can be with your family. This can be with your spouse. This can be for potentials. It can be for anything. You're wanting things to go a specific way, and when they don't, everything kind of crumbles. And I'll go more into that tomorrow, actually. The feel that you need to win every single argument. When somebody's coming at you in the chat, not our group chat, but like I meant to say like Messenger, like potentials, if they're coming at you or something, you feel like you have to justify it. You have to give reasons why they're wrong. You have to do this. And not very social. That's something that, again, I'm going to talk about more later, but that's something that I struggle with. Relationships are not like first language to me at all. I like the logistical things. I like the analytical things. Building that relationship, I'm like, it's not on my task tracker. I don't know what I'm doing there. So now that we've got all the bad things out of the way, and of course, none of us have those, next, we're going to talk about a typical green personality. Highly analytical, investigative, great at problem solving, needing a detailed plan in order to function properly. I'm about to jump into tomorrow's stuff already. I'm excited. I love this. Careful consideration in making informed decision. This is time blocking. This is chart updating. This is transferring. Fact over opinion. Show me that it's working. Don't just tell me that it's working. Pursues perfection in themselves and in others. And this is overall perfection. This is in your tasks, getting every single thing done that you pre-planned for the day. Conversations, relationships, tries to remain emotionally detached. You want to make it as task-based as possible. Um, yeah. Now what should an ideal green personality trait looks like? And like, guys, I'm not even kidding. I write down funny cues on here because that does not come naturally to me. So like I wrote on here, make a joke about the card because I started writing sideways and it made me so mad. And then I noticed I'm writing about green on pink paper. And then I wrote my scriptures on yellow paper and they're all slightly going sideways. And now I'm just frustrated. But growing into that true green personality, loving a well thought out plan, but can function without one. Not needing to say, because I wrote it over here and on this side. I wrote it in my notes. I sent it to Jess. I sent it to Anna. I wrote it again on here. But you know what? Then I noticed they were on the wrong colors, but I did it anyways. Um, Gosh, I have too much fun with this. Problem solving and dissecting things to get to the bottom of things can be a great trait in relationships. That builds compassion with your team, that builds trust with your team, that you're willing to dive deep with them. If you're on my team, you know at least maybe once, twice a month, I say, okay, send me a detailed schedule of what you do from the morning to the night, and we'll find out what's going on. And they're like, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I'm like, okay, wait. I love that. Anyways, if you're not green, I apologize. I'm going crazy. Forming a solution and showing empathy. And my favorite is stand firm on principles during opposition. I know this works. I just need to keep going. That's consistency. That is when something's not working out for you, or it's mid-month, or it's a low season, or anything like that. Standing firm on what you know is true. We know Host to Post works. We know the charts are solid. People are enrolling. People are promoting. We know that these things are working. Stand firm in that. And then I did write some scriptures. It's actually really cool. Two of the scriptures I wrote down are two of the same ones that Jess shared. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? But they were just on my heart. Obviously, I have Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Not trusting in my own, goodness gracious, not trusting in my own plans, but knowing that if my plans don't come to pass, it is enough. God is enough, and He is going to be there, and His plan is what is going to be fulfilled. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Isaiah 55:9. What looks to us like a disaster or a problem or a slight inconvenience, for me, that's a major problem. It's exactly what God intended. It's exactly in His plan for us. And then lastly, my call to action, I have two. First one is share something with the group that helps you stay on track, no matter how big or small it is, or even if it's already been said. How many newbies do we have coming into the chat every couple of days? If you say something today, in 4 days, how many newbies are going to be in that chat that have never heard what you've said? Somebody is going to get something from it. Somebody said it tonight. I'm pretty sure you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If it's on your heart to say, somebody needs to hear it. And then my last one, Rachel kind of put it in the chat earlier, and I almost said something. Add be a friend to your task tracker. I have to do that. It's on wherever. I have a to-do list for every single day because otherwise I scroll brain. And it literally says on there, check with newbies, send inspiring words, afternoon check-ins. 3 separate times during the day. I have to have it written down to go into my chats and just be a friend. Ask people how their kids are doing. Ask people how their weekend was. Ask if they have anything fun going on this week, because that is not first nature to a green personality. They're more of the logistical. How are you doing on your tracker? How are you doing on Host to Post? You want to connect. You want to build that relationship. And that's how you're also going to grow in those other color personalities. And now that I've talked for 5 years, I am also in charge of ending this. So I hope this was helpful. and getting you kind of like the vague overview of what all the different colors are going to look like through the rest of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You're going to hear from all of us leaders again. We're going to talk about our stories. We're going to talk about things that we struggle with and how those color personalities pull into that. Because not most people are not just dominant in one color personality. We have others, and those smaller ones can help in the long run, and those big ones also help. And so how we do host to post more effectively, how we follow up, what's your system? How does your color personality kind of play with that? How do you have conversations with potentials? How do you have conversations with your teammates? All of those things based on your color personality is what we're going to dive into next week. So, yeah, tomorrow is crazy hair night. So come with your wacky hairdos. I want to see all those cameras on. I don't have plans. I'm gonna go on Pinterest and I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do my research. But I believe that was all we got. Does anybody else want to add anything before I'm done? Anybody else that talked? No? All right. Well, I love you guys, and I hope you have an awesome night. Bye.